Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game, and today I'm going to share with you 10 more Nintendo Switch JRPGs that are still affordable physically. Let's check it out. Thank you all so much for joining me for another episode of Hallowed Be Thy Game, and I just want to thank everyone for all the support for this series. I know how it feels when you want to play JRPGs physically, and for the Nintendo Switch, that is a dangerous combo for when you're wanting to get a good deal. So again, I just want to state that these lists are meant for those to kind of help us get ahead of the curve of scalpers. It's really bad out there. And also I want to state that this list is in random order. This is definitely not in an order of greatness. I think these are all great games and more than worthy to be in your lineup. And I know affordable is definitely in the eye of the beholder. It's a different situation for everybody, but every game on this list is either heavily discounted or below the MSRP. So with that, let's get to number 10, Astral Chain. Sweet Lord God in heaven, this game is so freaking underrated. And for those of you out there who would say otherwise, I don't see an Astral Chain 2 yet, and please God, let Nintendo hire Platinum to get another Astral Chain 2 out. I cannot exist in a world where Astral Chain's over. Look, needless to say, this is one of the most underrated JRPGs ever. It's in my top 10 favorite Switch games, and it ain't even close. Astral Chain is fantastic. A lot of people were off-put by the idea that you might control two characters. Let me stress the importance to you. It's kind of like controlling 1.5 characters. And the abilities, the flash, the flare, the cyberpunk aesthetic. Look, sweet Lord in heaven. If you've seen my previous Switch must-own physical JRPGs, you know that I am a sucker for cyberpunk and anime. And this is just such a cool, unique aesthetic, which is really hard for me to kind of find these days. If you've played Scarlet Nexus and you're looking for a similar experience on the Switch, I don't think you're going to go wrong here with Astral Chain. Anyways, this is definitely a game I could see like 10 years from now being absurd to kind of get, because it does feel like it has slipped under the radar. I know there's a lot of bigger personalities out there right now stating how good this is, and it is. The hype is real. Astral Chain's fantastic. The combat is smooth, fluid, epic. It's adrenaline fueled, which, let me tell you, Platinums are the kings at. Astral Chain is just so unique because you have so many opportunities to customize the look of your character. You know, because let's be honest, fashion is the true end game. But you have this very fun combat progression system, this really cool power scaling, some extremely iconic characters. I was baited so hard by Bayonetta 3's trailer. I thought it was an Astral Chain 2. Anyways, I'm over it. Bayonetta 3 looks cool. Astral Chain, pick it up. Do not miss out on this instant classic. Number 9, Dead or School. Hear me out. Hear me out. This Metroidvania JRPG is so underrated. It definitely slid under the radar, and don't let internet hate bait or anything like that dissuade you from Dead or School. Yes, there's a ton of fan service in this game, but if you're into Metroidvanias, or even like, I want to say like a Diablo style progression system where you're very focused on weapon upgrades, power upgrades, item upgrades, this is such a fun, unique game. I've honestly just shocked it didn't get more press and it didn't get more traction. It's cheap right now. This game is so fun. It is kind of a guilty pleasure because, you know, it is a little bit repetitive, but if you're a fan of the Metroidvania genre, this is totally going to fly under the radar for a lot of people. And Dead or School is fantastic. The gameplay's solid. Look up some more reviews on it if you want, but I'm telling you, it's fun to play, it's cheap, it deserves to be on this list, and it deserves to be in your game lineup. Dead or School, check it out. Number 8, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. Holy moly, you get 2 games for the price of one here, and they're both cheap. But let me tell you, if you know how much of a cuckoo bananas crazy fan I am for the Devil Survivor series, you'll know how much I love Yasuda's art, and he's all over this. This game is so fantastic. It's a little grindy, but let me tell you, if you loved Digimon back in the day, this is such a beautiful and incredible homage to that. It does the anime and gameplay from the original games just a huge service of gratitude. It's fun to play. It's definitely that monster collecting progression. You upgrade your units. You have so much to work with here. It's fun. I would say this game is good for 30 to 60 hours of just extreme fun, depending on which story you want to play. It's excellent. It's cheap. The art is great. I love the characters in this. And if you are a fan of Soul Hackers on the 3DS, which you should definitely be because it's awesome, this game, it's inspired heavily from it. We'll just leave it at that. But that said, imitation is the best form of flattery, and this is phenomenal. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Pick it up. Number 7, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet Complete Edition. Now, you know I love my Sword Art Online games, and this one is no different. Now, there has been a little bit of hate bait for these games. I get it, but they're fun, and they're cheap right now, especially Fatal Bullet. Totally worth picking up. This one's different from the others because this is like a third-person action shooter with a lot of RPG elements. You have all the iconic characters from the anime here, but you get to make your own character, which is fantastic. I loved it. It's so good. And honestly, if you are a fan of JRPG or anime tropes, you need to play Sword Art Online games. And Fatal Bullet is affordable right now. Again, I want to state, I'm not saying every game on this list is going to be extremely expensive in the future, but I will state that certain types of games get very expensive quick, and one of those is anime tie-in games. And Fatal Bullet is just fun. It's affordable right now. I think it's well worth the price of admission. Check it out. Number 6, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. All right, you knew it wouldn't be too long before I'd start sneaking in some Shin Megami games into here, and today I got a couple here for you. Now, look, Nocturne has developed a rather infamous or famous reputation for being an extremely difficult game. I'm not going to lie, the normal and hard versions of this are a little intimidating. However, I love this game so much, and the additions and the gameplay quality of life changes they've brought to this remaster is fantastic. Nocturne has brought such excellent quality of life improvements. You're now able for demon fusions to choose what spells you want to move on to your party members, which really makes a massive difference in the difficulty level of this game. But they've also added easier difficulty modes for those who are wanting to kind of get in and get a feel for the waters. I personally think with the quality of life improvements to being able to choose what spells you move on to your demon party members, that it more than makes the normal version of this game extremely accessible. It is iconic for a reason. Kazuma Kaneka and his iconic art direction, the eerie, otherworldly, apocalyptic demon designs. This game is alluring, it's eerie, it's fantastic. I've done a review and an in-depth kind of discussion on this game. I'll leave a link to that down in the comments. For the price this is at now, it's a no-brainer. I bought it full price. It's only gotten cheaper, and I think it is a must-own for any fans of JRPGs. Number 5, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. Any cool points I just earned with my Nocturne recommendation, I have just forfeited here. But look, if you love Fire Emblem and you love SMT, you probably were baited by this game pretty hard. So I understand. However, we all know what Tokyo Mirage Sessions is, and it is genuinely a fun game. This game is over-the-top anime and fan service. It's the press turn battle system, and this game freaking rocks, dude. I love this game so much. Oh my god. Just try it. This game is so fun. I honestly think this is a great introduction to kind of the harder turn-based battle systems that you can see from previous games. Now, this is a part of the SMT universe. It does have an iteration of the press turn battle system, which is by far and away my favorite turn-based battle system ever. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is over-the-top J-pop. It has a glorious soundtrack, which I use tracks from in my videos. I think it's fantastic. I totally understand why this game has kind of developed a reputation with the existing SMT and Persona fanbase and the Fire Emblem fanbase, because you know Fire Emblem's really dark and dire. SMT is famous for having dark, foreboding, eerie storylines. In Tokyo Mirage Sessions, you know, you play as a J-pop star and you're saving people with the power song and friendship. I get it. It's a pretty hard 180. However, that aside, this is an excellent video game. Aside from Barry, who is quite possibly my least favorite character in any video game, this game rocks. It's totally worth checking out and picking up while it's cheap. I don't think it did good on the Wii U when it was originally there. It's ported here. I think it's a great on-the-go turn-based game and definitely worth a play from any fans of JRPGs. Check it out. Number 4, Octopath Traveler. One thing that Octopath Traveler did is it defined an entirely new generation of retro-looking games. I don't know of a single soul who has played this game and hated the way it looks or hated the music. Now, I do want to preface this that my only complaint about this game is that the stories, it feels very segmented. However, at the core of this game, you have extremely lovable characters. You can get attached to each and every one of them. All of their stories are great. This game is gorgeous. The art and aesthetic is immediately iconic, and now I'm starting to see more of it come with the Live Alive, the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake. I think this is absolutely where the industry should be heading with more titles like this. It's a genre trendsetter, and honestly, it is fantastic. It has a very fun battle system. It is so addictive. I think everyone should play Octopath Traveler at least once, and it is affordable right now for the Nintendo Switch. I can't recommend it enough, if nothing else, to experience the gorgeous art aesthetic, the fun combat, the lovable characters, and that wonderful soundtrack. Octopath Traveler, I think it's a must-play. Check it out. Number 3, Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age. Without question, one of the best, if not the best, turn-based JRPG to be on the Nintendo Switch as of the making of this video. I say that to say, this is the definitive perfect way to experience Dragon Quest XI. I have shilled for this game so hard, and I will continue to do so, because Sylvando is without question one of the best video game characters ever created. I love this game. It has an iconic symphonic orchestrated soundtrack. The gameplay is very retro, but you know what? Dragon Quest created it, it rocked it, and it's continuing to rock it. Exploring this world is magical. To be honest, it's in my top 10 favorite games of all time. It's easily my favorite Dragon Quest game, and I think this is the perfect entry point into a classic retro turn-based battle system. And honestly, if you're feeling even more nostalgic, on the cart you have the ability to play in a retro 16-bit format like a Super Nintendo game. It runs wonderfully. You can switch back and forth. This game is a must-own. It's a must-play. I can't overhype this game enough. Dragon Quest XI's, it is affordable right now. I wouldn't think there's going to be a day when this game would be uber expensive, but then I look at the 3DS and DS Dragon Quest games, and who knows? All I know is this game is one of the GOATs. It's definitely worth picking up and playing. Number 2, Neo: The World Ends With You. Holy crap, this game is so freaking fun to play, and it is dirt cheap. Unfortunately, this game, I believe, flopped pretty hard. It did not perform well at all. I got this on a Black Friday deal for $15. I feel really guilty that I wasn't there to support it, but gosh, there's just so many JRPGs. There's so many good games. You got to go where the deals are, and right now the deals are here. This is a wonderful game. I never played the original, but I can tell you that the transition to this newer combat system is fun. I love the art style and aesthetic of this game. The soundtrack is straight slapping. The combat is so fun. Neo: The World Ends With You, at this price point it's at right now, is definitely worth picking up. And I also want to state that I am sorry for anyone who is joining us in the distant future when these games have become unaffordable, unobtainable. This is a series I'm going to continue to do and come back to, but I only want to be able to share games that I've played, that I love, that I think that others would love too at these good prices. But Neo: The World Ends With You for the Nintendo Switch. Have you played it? Would you recommend it? Let people know down in the comments. Number 1, Valkyria Chronicles 4. Oh my gosh, this game is so freaking good and so unique. I've personally never played another game like this. And from what I understand, this was definitely a return to form for the entire Valkyria Chronicles series. I've only ever played 1 and 4, and I believe you can still get the first one digitally on Switch, and it's absolutely worth checking out as well. The cast and characters from this are so lovable. This story, though, can hit you directly in the feels with a tactical strike. For this game, you move in an open battlefield, and each character will have a certain amount of distances they can move, and then you'll go into kind of an attack animation where you can actually physically aim with your characters and do really unique special attacks. You can build this unique party. The customization and upgrade systems and paths for this are fantastic. I love this. I think it is extremely approachable difficulty-wise. And again, I cannot stress enough that the characters, you get so invested in them. You love them like your own brothers and sisters. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely worth the price it's at now. I can't recommend Valkyria Chronicles 4 enough, but how about you? Have you played Valkyria Chronicles 4? If so, let people know what you thought of it down in the comments. Well, there you have it. There's 10 more physical JRPGs that are still affordable for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Switch is obviously a behemoth, and we are all terrified of the Switch tax that can come from scalpers picking up these games physically. So please, if there is a game that you did not see in this list or in the previous list, let people know down in the comments. We're all in this together. And I want to thank you all so much for liking and subscribing. The support for the channel these past couple weeks has just been extremely humbling. It's been so much fun to kind of nerd out and explore these games together with you all. But what helps out the channel even more is sharing your recommendations down in the comments. So thanks again. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next time.